This is my personal and unpopular opinion that I'm sharing, that I support South Africans protesting against illegal foreigners in their country. Yes, I said what I said. But before you crucify me, hear me out. You know that before you visit a country, you apply for a visa to visit that country, especially when you're not a citizen of that country, and they issue you that visa. That visa becomes a legal document binding you and the state to terms. And that terms is that you're expected to enter the country at a certain time and exit after a certain period of time, say 3 months. So it becomes a social contract between you, the state, and by extension, the citizens of that state. And when I say state, I mean the country. But when you stay there beyond that period that you are expected to stay, now you become an illegal foreigner in that country. And the state has the right to remove you however the state decides to remove you. I said state. But when the state refuses to remove you and the citizens feel like your continued presence in their country is putting a strain on their infrastructure and their resources, they have the right to protest to their government to remove you from that place. Now that is what South Africans are doing, and that is why I said I support them. You might be sentimental and say, oh, are we not Africans? Why are they doing this and that? Yes, they are right to protest. The only thing I don't support is violence. And so far, I've not seen violence. I see them marching, doing their traditional dances, and I see police marching beside them to ensure peace and order. And to me, that is not bad. Because as a Nigerian, if the roles were reversed, I would feel a certain way as well. So before you crucify South Africans, put yourself in their shoes. And if you're an illegal foreigner in a country, it is wrong because you did not walk into that country. Even if you walked into that country, you were granted the permission to enter, except, of course, you were not granted permission, and that makes it even worse. But if you had the permission to stay, to enter that country and stay for a period of time, after that period of time elapsed, you're expected to leave. So if you don't leave, you have become a problem. And South Africans have the right to protest to their government to remove you. So give South Africans a break. Don't crucify them. I'm a Nigerian, by the way, but like I said, I support South Africans protesting against illegal foreigners in their country.
Nigerians, I want to give you a perspective. You come to a country, you take over an abandoned building, which you deemed abandoned. You force all the residents in that building out or to pay you rent, not the landlord, you. You threaten the landlord with violence so that you can take over this building. Eventually you do. You then bring one drug in called cat. You bring another drug in called cocaine. You bring another drug in called fentanyl. You bring another drug in called naupe, which is heroin. It's heroin cut down. You bring methamphetamine into this country. You supply anyone that wants a taste, even as young as 12 and 13. You create drug addicts through these young girls, and then when they owe you too much money, you tell them they can pay with their bodies. I've seen 13-year-old girls standing outside a Nigerian occupied building, selling her body, full of needle holes. And you have the audacity to come onto this app and try and make white people and black South Africans fight against each other so that you can pretend that you are victims. Zimbabweans, you keep that ZANU-PF in power. You. No one else. You. You chased out all the white farmers. Now you don't have food security in your country because all the land that was taken produced nothing. Nothing. You kept a dictator in power for 42 years just to replace him with another dictator. You, Zimbabweans. Zambians, Mozambicans, Nigerians, all the same in my eyes. And then you want to play the Eswatini and Lesotho people against us too. The problem is Nigerians and other black foreigners. We see Lesotho as part of our country because it doesn't make sense that the country is within the country. And Eswatini fought very, very, very hard for their land back against the apartheid regime. And they got it. The Kingdom of Eswatini used to be known as Swaziland. Swazi is one of our languages, official languages. Just saying. Maybe if you come to this country, learn about our history and learn about our different cultures and learn why we respect each other's cultures and languages so much as what we do. Enjoy your day.
Being South African is a big achievement, and being Nigerian is a punishment from the ancestors. Now let's talk about the government of Nigeria. The government of Nigeria is the laziest government ever the world never seen. That government is not doing nothing to their people, nothing at all. Now let's talk about the South African government. South African government, they give their people 350 child support, they pay elderly, they pay disabled. You see the difference? Now, if Nigeria is the giant of Africa, the question is, how can a giant live in a house of dwarf? You see, that's why I say South Africa is the giant of Africa, because when I was in Lagos, I didn't see any South African there. But look here in South Africa. Yesterday I was in Beria. Nigerians already made their village there. Before yesterday I was in Sunside. Nigerians are controlling Sunside. They are running everything there in Sunside. You see, the question still standing. How can a giant live in a house of dwarf? I need the answer.
Here we go again. Our so-called hardworking Nigerians. I did again. Our hardworking drug traffickers. Our fate. Our hardworking scammers. I did again. Look at the smiles on our hardworking human traffickers. Our hardworking human traffickers. Look how beautiful they're smiling. Our hardworking fraudsters. Wow. But somehow when South Africans want to deal with the issue of the 15 million foreigners, they are called xenophobic. Doesn't it blow your mind? Doesn't it blow your mind that people that are responsible for 60% of the fraud on this planet have the balls to call South Africans xenophobic? Anyway, I hope our hardworking drug dealers enjoyed their long weekend.
So you were in the aisle, you passed the Fanta, the Coca-Cola, the Sprite, the still water, and with the hand that was given to you by the Lord Almighty, can I get an amen? You chose to take sparkling water.
Nigerians, where were you in times of apartheid, when South Africans were dying for their freedom, when Krizan was killed, when Nelson Mandela stayed 27 years in prison fighting for their freedom, when Oliver Tambo died for their freedom? Where were you, Nigerians? From 1948 until 1994, where were you, Nigerians, when South Africans were sacrificing themselves for their freedom? Where were you, Nigerians? South Africans fought alone for their freedom, so let them enjoy alone their freedom. They can't just allow you to go there and destroy their economy, sabotage everything that they fight for. You can call them xenophobic, you can call them violent, you can call them tribalist, you can call them with all the names. The truth is, they want you out of their country. Because in times of struggle, you were not there. They were alone. They died alone. They sacrificed alone. Nigeria. And this is the question of the year. I need the answer. Where were you